Happy Tuesday.
And it's Tuesday again, people. Welcome back to Our Healer, Our Protector with Ryan, Reichert, and Lisa.
Lisa Sander.
All right, everybody. Well, hey, it's great to see you again, hear you again, or I guess just you listening to us this fine morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. But I think Lisa's going to get us kicked off today with reading out of her devotional or Bible. I'm not sure which one she's picking.
I am picking a daily devotional.
Sounds
You
good.
guys ready? Reliable messengers. An unreliable messenger stumbles into trouble, but a reliable messenger brings healing. What kind of person are you? Are you healing, or are you a healing person for someone, or are you troubling yourself or someone else? Trouble waits for us when we are not true to our word. As followers of Jesus, we should be reliable and trustworthy. Our words matter, and we should be mindful of how they impact other people. We should follow through on what we say and tell the truth in all situations. It's better to stay quiet than to say something we don't mean or can't uphold. Ask a few trustworthy people if they consider you to be reliable and true to your word. Soften your heart and take their word to heart. It takes courage to make room for growth. It isn't always comfortable. If you're unhappy with their assessment, you have an opportunity to make a change. Ask the Holy Spirit for help and try to change your habits. Remember that God is on your side and he will joyfully help you and develop good character. I was reflecting on this because something happened over the weekend. So my kids go to a different church than I do. I sometimes go to the same church because it's the church they grew up in. And now I've been going to another church, and I've been trying to do both of them, right? So my kids can see it. It's hard because I want to be a good person for them to look up to. So I feel like I have to go to church where they're at. And I really want to go to the other church for new beginnings. I love both churches, but I just need new beginnings. And I told Grace for Sunday, yeah, are you going to church tomorrow? Make sure you're going to church with your dad. And I'm going to be there too. I didn't relay that to you, Ryan. And we made plans. And then I had to say sorry to Grace in the morning. I didn't feel like getting ready and going to two services.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talk about this a lot, right? Discipline over feelings, and like your feelings got in the way of your discipline of something you said you were going to do and you didn't do, right? So you probably maybe disappointed her, or I don't know, you might call it a failure. Doesn't matter what we want to call it, but I guess no inventory here, but we say we're going to do something, like we do it, right? And it's that hard that we choose.
And you do fail when you don't stay true to your word, because I failed myself and I felt like I failed my daughter. I was going to church, but just a different one. And she knew that, but I still didn't feel right in my heart because I want to be trustworthy to my word. And she knows I'm going to be there when I say I'm going to be there.
Yeah, I don't think that just goes for example. I mean, it's the example you're using today. I mean, I think this goes for all of us that, an example would be, if we're following God's grace and in his light, when he wakes us up in the, morning, whenever it is, like, the way I do it is I don't use an alarm clock. Granted, I have the luxury of like running my own business and how I establish a calendar. But, when he wakes me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, my 4 a.m. courage says time to walk me and go to the gym and, read the Bible and then go to work from there. So the same goes for if we say we're going to do something with anybody under the sun, we execute. And this kind of goes though too to the side, I think, for, from your devotional reading where, how do we talk to others? Our body language says what we're feeling versus maybe what our mouth's saying. kind of thing too, right? And having the boundaries not to put ourselves in those type of situations where we need to, I don't know, I guess really think about where we're putting ourselves at. I mean, a good example would be like Grace knows that you're um, trustworthy and so forth. But if you say you're going to do something, you don't do it, does that erode that trust? Does that create a fracture in it? This is all part of communicating, so it's a perfect example for you and Grace to have a discussion on when we say we're going to do something, we don't do it. What is that feelings and emotions come into play, right? Like, how does that make you feel? What emotions does that create? Because then the trauma that possibly you have in a previous life or, wherever that we have, when someone does the same thing to us, like, how does that make you feel? The emotions that it creates, and then therefore, how do you react? Being able to pause, not say anything because you are more emotionally mature than whoever you're talking to. Being very broad here to everyone listening out there watching, just knowing that, I'll say it time and time again. You'll hear it once again, 2 ears and 1 mouth. There's a reason why, just listen to who you're talking with. Listen to them. It's one, I'll take it right out of the Icarus effect, hot off the presses. Send me a note. I'll send you an author copy. But in chapter 2, the pen is mightier than the sword, importance of EQ versus IQ. And people with high emotional quotients, EQ, don't listen to words. They read energies, moods, body language, and small things like the look in your eyes. They may not say a lot, but they do notice everything. You'll have a very hard time hiding your true colors from them as they feel and see what isn't said. When I think back to my days in Boy Scouts and my military training, we used to play a game called Kim's. It was derived from the Rudyard Kipling 1901 novel Kim. So this whole Kim's games that we used to do both in Boy Scouts and in my military training is like you would go into a room or an environment and you'd have like a minute to analyze everything in the room. And then you'd be removed and you'd be tested on what you retained. You draw the room out precisely, what colors everything were, where they were at, so on and so forth. It helped obviously that I did it as a young kid. And then later on in my military training, I was able to pick that up. But either put into me by God's grace or through my training, I think both, you pick up that same thing when you talk with somebody and you look them in the eye and, like you smile. We go into this all the time, right? Please, thank you. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And then you do it over and over again until, one day you're no longer here on earth. And that makes this world a great, beautiful, kind place to live. And everyone grows from that. But I guess what we're talking about today is doing what we say we're going to do, actually listening to those who we communicate with. And if it's somebody that maybe is like, let's just say like next week, you tell Grace you're going to go to church with her again and you didn't, right? You would have established a pattern. The same thing would go with someone similar to utilizing the Kim's theory, the Kim's game piece of it all when it goes to those who you work with, those maybe your friends, maybe it's your family that you know better and you can pick up on like their body language and how they communicate and do they fulfill what they say they're going to do. And it just makes it that much easier for all of us to live in his grace, to truly know that, it's all about learning. It's all about evolving together and growing in it all.
I think what's hard, like when you have blended people in your life that are not a family and you're trying to blend two families, as a parent, you don't want to disappoint your kids.
I mean, I think for me, and this is hard, right? Because I have one kid that I spend time with who I went to church with, the last week. And then one that I don't talk to, I've already let them down, in a previous life. So all I can do is show them like today that like I read my Bible, like I teach, junior high students on Wednesday nights. I volunteer throughout the community. I'm trying to give back in my profession and everything I do. you create as much light as you possibly can. And therefore, like, if you did ever let them down, like, you can only live your life today. Like, whatever happened yesterday, sorry, you don't get credit for that anymore. It's erased. You get to start over today. So it's one of those that, with my checkered past, like, sweet, sounds good to me. Like, I don't want to erase it from the sense of like, then I erased myself, but you can't use it as a crutch to go, I used to do all those good things. And then you start failing now. Well, okay, then like just change that today and so on and so forth. Continue to do the good things. Continue to be the teacher that you were when the kids were little, you know, how to air up their tires in their car, when they come home from college. They've never taken their car in to get an oil change, go with
Oh yeah.
them.
Yes, I just did that, people. My daughter is learning all kinds of stuff as she's going to be leaving the nest this next year. I had her get her first oil change. And when you're driving over and there's a hole in the ground and you're like, oh my gosh, and my tires, I always have a fear in the back of my head that one of the tires will go down, we're going to go down. And that's my fear. But I had Grace do it. And then it was cute because I said, next time now you can answer all these questions and tell them you just want an oil change. And if they want to fix anything, say, I will have to call somebody and confirm that. And if I need to, I will make an appointment again. And then she said, okay, I can do all that, but I really don't want to pay the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, though, just keep growing. When you go through divorce, it's hard, right? Finding your new you and your kids. And obviously, we have kids in college, out of college, and finishing up their senior year. And Ryan, I know it's different for you, but I want my daughter to be able to fly on her own and just teaching her. I think it's hard because your kids prepare you on their high school years of not being with you anyways, because they're busy with their friends and they have their own life. And I just want to make sure I teach her everything that I can. And like just putting your kids through divorce, like you have that in your head. But I think of all the positive things that have come out of it too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes for, the majority of those that watch and listen to us. Yeah, I mean, you're going through a divorce or you come out of divorce and all those scary what ifs or enough or where and who and hows and all those questions and just know that like we're all doing this probably for the first time ever and it's new to us and just put your best foot forward and keep being that teacher that the good Lord is to us and allow the kids to spread their wings and fly away. And if they come back to your nest to say hi every once in a while, fantastic. But the whole side of it is for us to prepare them to launch, to leave, and go be disciples around the world. And that's the discipline. Disciple, discipline, one and the same. Training them, teaching them, and allowing them to go make life choices for themselves.
Yeah. We're here to listen. If you want our guidance, you can ask, or we'll just support and cheerlead on the side or in front or in back, whatever you need.
Thinking about what's coming up here soon enough in October, the 10th through the 13th of October in Bend, Oregon. We'll be with Tom Fanner and a number of beautiful couples out there and going to that retreat. So if you would like more information, reach out to us and we'll get you in touch with Tom. He's having the show up out there in Oregon. And then at the end of October, the 23rd through the 26th of October, Lisa and I will be hosting our very first own individual retreat in Scottsdale, Arizona. So the same, just reach out and we'll give you a call back. And also, like I said, hot off the presses, author copies in hand now for the Icarus Effect, book 2 in our Protector Development series. And 30 September, it'll be out for public release, but don't worry, send me a note. I'll get you a signed copy, and we can certainly make that happen. It takes about a week because you actually can't mail books the same way we can, but just Amazon gets things faster, I guess. And Lisa is just so happy to be here. So with that, we're going to close things out today, and super excited. Another week with y'all, and hope everybody's just having a blessed day. And
Have a happy Tuesday. Oh, open your door. Open your door to church, to the gym. Open that fridge door and pick something healthy this week.
sounds good.
And be reliable. Be the
Absolutely.
word of your word.
I like it. Sounds
Word,
good.
word, word,
Love y'all.
word, word.
Have an amazing Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.